of the MPP for the 2028 elections. So it's extremely crucial. We're going to be having some wonderful conversations on that. We're also going to be talking about the guidelines which have been issued by the NDC relative to who can do what going into the next phase of the NDC. It's actually very, I remember, I recall when I was, it appears Senior Apia Dankwa is very interested in that, really. He likes the way the NDC is conducting itself. Charlie, buga buga, no bagawaya. Right, this is the evening show. My name is Kwame Owusu Danso Esq. I've enjoyed this. Senior is laughing. All right, I've been joined in the studios by my very senior and good friend, lawyer Apia Dankwa, lawyer Okukudam, lawyer Ochichiribo, Obofa, Dadefa, lawyer Unimumra Dimra, Timrase. Good evening to you.
Come we kill you.
I trust you.
I would have been great.
Fast like a flow.
No, but that's quite really critical. You're not saying
bread. In my case, you're bread. Grams of blessing. We go Rwanda, you know. I don't bread. We go Rwanda, go UK, go the number, you know. But at the end of the day, we're here.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How's the week been like for you?
Very tiring.
I'm
very tired.
Court.
Oh, not necessarily courts, but lots of work. Lots of work here.
Yeah.
So
bro, how are we?
We're good.
You look young, though.
That's what I wanted to say.
What's your secret? Remember that advert, Revlon? Secret is Revlon.
And I was going to say that the last time we met,
yes,
we're not grey as you are now.
I'm telling you.
I'm sure it's a law, right?
No, it's not a law.
That's how I'm not venturing into it.
It's the campaign, my guy.
That's how I'm not venturing into it.
Yeah. No, but it's actually a very good profession. You need to reconsider your decision.
Well. So I have my profession. I mean, it does not ban me from doing law. For law is universal. Anybody can go into it. As well, those of us in the industry of engineering related and all that. Yeah. So it makes us understand.
I saw a post on Facebook where the person was saying that he doesn't understand why we are producing too many lawyers, because people who are supposed to build countries are engineers.
Yeah.
But at the place we are producing more lawyers. Unfortunately, senior, the lawyers we are producing are also not, most of them are not intelligent. I'm sorry.
Where?
Over you know. You can't say that.
I don't know that.
I didn't say all of them. Okay, some of them. But senior, in every profession you would have the bad.
I beg you, I don't know about that.
Okay, well, that's what people are saying. I was only asking questions.
No, but I agree with
that position.
I agree with that position. But they haven't given. But I agree with the view that we need much more engineers than we do lawyers. I agree entirely with, because it's engineers that build country. The science guys. Yeah. And myself, I have a science background. Yeah. But having said that, I think that does not justify a view that the plenty of lawyers that we have produced also are
some
daft,
of them.
because you know that it's not easy.
It's not easy, Mom. But I mean, it's like, for instance, when people say some judges are corrupt or biased.
No, but you see, so prove it, show it. We just say things into the air and then.
So you disagree entirely?
Entirely, yeah.
No, I disagree.
I disagree, because you see.
But we have very intelligent lawyers.
Exactly. So we may disagree on issues. We are humans. We can make mistakes. It does not mean that they are not. Well, that it's not easy.
Very easy. That's right.
It's not. So I decided to divert my course of engineering, because most of the processes of going higher in the engineering field is not there. Yeah. There are few institutions that train engineers.
Ghana,
I think only Tech and some few other ones that are. And when you want to do your masters and your PhD and all those things, it's very difficult.
Yeah, you have to.
And so I decided to go and do social change communication.
That's right.
Yeah, just to
So what are you changing in your party?
We are changing a lot. It doesn't take an individual to change. So I think
so we are drawing a very a better distinction between the government and the party. That's what I asked you.
That's right. I'm not in government.
Are you resetting the party?
Yeah, everything is being reset from government to party.
if you look at our guidelines that we have put out there.
First of all, what informed the decision to put out a new guideline?
Well, it's a practice. Any election that we go in, we put out guidelines. Some might be, from the party's constitution. Others are just the current issues that we think that to help promote democracy within the party. And so, NEC will always meet. FEC will meet, make proposals, go and meet, FEC, and they will come out with the guidelines. So,
no, the question really I'm asking is that because before someone will ponder over issues, right? Yeah. Then there must be an issue, and so that's inform the decision. No, so that's why I'm asking that. What is really the issue? Because I do know, and a lot of people have been complaining that it appears that they say there's a huge disconnect between the party and the government. That most of the appointments which have been made, according to many, really and truly has not benefited the party, so to speak. Because then people are complaining really bitterly.
Well, in our case,
this government is appointing people who are not really party people.
Yeah, so that's difficult to say because if you look at the kind of appointment His Excellency the President did, most of the party executives have had, in fact, in my region, for instance, almost all the regional executives, except few of us who have not taken up appointments. Some have.
An offer was made to you and you declined?
No, not me, I said, but I know many of our party executives.
I'm asking you.
No, offer has not been made to me.
To you, okay.
But I have always made my mind that I want to serve party. I've always made my mind I want to serve party. In fact, this is my 25th year of being a party executive, from 10 to branch executive to constituency executive to regional executive. In fact, this is my 20th. I'm ending as my 20th years as regional executive, from propaganda secretary to communications officer to regional vice chair. And so I love to work for party. I love to listen to the grassroots. And so some of us will be disadvantaged if we are fixed elsewhere. And so many of us, I know Comrade, our national organizer, who even during the campaign, he told me he didn't want to take an appointment because he wants to work for party. And many other executives that we have one-on-one discussions.
How do you take care of the party? Because I know that if you're in a position, it's understandable, senior that you may not be able to generate so much, you'll be able to take care of the grassroots. But the understanding is there that once power is won, you'll be able to take care of the grassroots, right? Currently, as we speak, a lot of people are disenchanted. People are not happy, particularly the grassroots, with the kinds of appointments which have happened, and the fact that they are not benefiting really and truly from the victory that the NDC got in 2025, right? Yeah. So how is how is the party helping the grassroots?
Yeah, so you see, governance or government, a party wins government to develop the nation and use the human resource to do the development. So I'm yet to be told which among the appointees of government today is not a party person. It's not everybody who's elected.
Hold on.
No, it's not everybody who's elected.
Let's draw the dichotomy well. I'm saying, we're not talking about the appointments that have been made.
Yeah, okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm saying that, yes, I agree, and I know that there are viewers out there who disagree with me vehemently.
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to establish here is that people campaign for political parties so that when they win, they will get some respite, right? Some level of comfort. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. In this case, we're looking at the grassroots, and I'm telling you that the grassroots is complaining that even the so-called people who have been appointed by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who were once upon a time party people, are now neglecting the other grassroots people who have not had the opportunity of appointment.
Kwame, I'm here to get the complaint that the party route does have been neglected. That's one. And if you watch, Kwame, if you watch, more than 60% of the appointees of government, are MPs, and these are people who are directly relating with the grassroots.
I'm not talking about ministers.
I'm coming. No, you see, because the work to be done in government is through the ministries and agencies, and if you come to the national executives, we have almost everybody, almost, not all, though, who have had an appointment in agencies or the ministries. If you come to a regional level, almost all the regions, we have more than 50% of regional executives who have been appointed into government. And even people from the constitutional level have had appointments. And so, Kwame, who is there to give the work to the grassroots? It is the same people who have worked with them, and know their situation, they know them in person.
Are they giving them the jobs?
Oh, the jobs has been given out.
Really?
Fact,
so you are saying confidently that as you sit here,
everybody has not been given a job. But most of people, party people, have given jobs.
What was the percentage?
No, I have not quantified that.
No, I wouldn't.
No, Kwame, I have not quantified that.
Almost
Kwame,
everybody.
I have not quantified that. But I know the majority of the grassroots that I know have one or the other job to do.
I will activate the phone lines.
In fact, look, Kwame, let me tell you something.
I will activate the phone lines at some point.
Kwame,
but I'll come to you.
Kwame, listen to me. No, even before that, before I come, you see, some are business people. Some are business people, Kwame. And most of our guys are doing businesses. Kwame, most of our guys are doing businesses.
What business?
Oh, come on. Supplies, contracts at the ministries.
Hey.
Oh, yes.
Really?
Really.
Are you sure?
I'm very, very
that
sure.
the ministers are not giving it to their... That the party...
No, you see, there's a clear difference between the NDC and any political party in this country. We know how we're best. And so we might have certain, maybe few, hinges or a few problems out there. But majority of the jobs that comes goes to people who are in party.
Engineer Amin, hold on. Apia, he says that the party is different from all other political parties. I'm sure you've taken a bird's eye view of the of this government vis-a-vis the party. And I'm happy that we have gotten to a point where there's a clear distinction between the party and government.
Yeah, that's right.
I think they've sought to do that. They've tried to do that. Do you see that there's some support which deliberately or intentionally has been created for the purpose of benefiting the grassroots? No, you're not in the party, but so that's why it's a bird's eye view.
Let me wish the lovely viewers
very well.
Good evening.
Very well.
You see, Kwame, we must be very careful about this topic. It's very critical.
Yes.
Because you see, and before I even make, I must commend the NDC party. I must deliberately commend the NDC party for the role it's played in holding the government accountable to their core values and principles. I must commend them.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, because, and the case in point here is, you had a case where Chairman Nasiru Nketia called Sam George out when he thought that Sam George was doing things which were not in the interest of the country, even of the country. Yeah. You had, Father Masay, my favorite General Secretary so far personally, so far, Fifi Kweti, align the party to its values, which ought to align to the nation's values. It must be clear. Now, you see, Kwame, we have a constitution. This constitution was adopted by all of us as Ghanaians. And we said one of the fundamental principles that underpins our constitution is the principle of probity and accountability. We said we do not believe in corruption at all. Now, we also know that one of the biggest problems that our democracy is bedeviled with is the concept of patronage. The concept of patronage is one of the biggest problems that pulls us back in achieving the purpose of this constitutional democracy. Yeah, you understand? Yes. Now, what is patronage? So patronage is simply where you have, like you're saying, you be giving boys handouts. These are the kind of politics we want to depart from. We need to depart from the politics of patronage and clientelism. So yes, we form political parties have the ultimate purpose or aim of sponsoring somebody to give them power so that they will put them in the best position of achieving the nation's ideals through their values and their views. You understand? Chief amongst these is found in agenda the constitution gives us, the economic agenda of the state, which is to create a system where we will create jobs. One. Now, you take the political party and you see how political parties in South Africa, like the ANC, is done. For whatever reason, political parties in Ghana here do not see the essence of creating wealth themselves as political parties. But there's nothing in our laws that stops political parties from doing that. You understand? Yeah. Now, that failure of the political parties puts them in a situation where they will continue to promote the principles of what's called patronage and clientelism. Because when I say that, they have neglected the ground. So this means where are they going to get the money to take care? So should they steal? Yeah, because we won't know their salaries. How are they going to take care of, and they've neglected us? And so we need deep thinking in how our parties are structured. And that's why for me, what Fifi Kote has done, I support the spirit of it. I have issues with it, but not with the spirit, not with the idea. I just have issues with the process, the procedure. But I don't have an issue with...
If you said the procedure respectfully, what do you mean?
Now, you have a country where we say that another abiding principle, the key principle that underpins everything we do here is the principle of the rule of law. The principle of the rule of law upholds arbitrariness. The principle of the rule of law supports predictability.
And certainty.
And certainty.
Yeah.
Yeah, you understand? Now, and this I haven't seen the constitution. Now, where you have a situation where the National Executive Council can arbitrarily alter who qualifies to contest for an election, it raises the question of whether or not that action is constitutional. In my view, as I haven't seen their constitution, but on the face of it, you understand? Because so you have a constitution that says that if you're a party member of maybe 2 years, 3 years, you can contest for a position. This. They arbitrarily, some few months before an election, NEC comes out and says that if you are a party member and you hold executive position, then you must resign. This. I'm not saying that's the position, but for me, it raises issue. Is it a constitutional provision? What's called a step? Is it not an arbitrary step? Because there must be some certainty. So as and when you understand, I'm not saying what I'm saying is that it raises serious questions of whether or not this guideline abides by the principle of the rule of law. Is it arbitrary? It's something we ought to discuss. But in terms of the idea that they want to take steps to strengthen their party by ensuring that there's a clear distinction between the party and government, and then put in the context of what I've seen, how I've seen him handle himself as general secretary and the chairman, how this, for me, it gives me encouragement. It tells me, and this is a party that is serious in building the strength of the party. Now, what are they going to do with that? If they're going to build a strong party, a strong foundation, and on the basis of that, then find ways of generating money legitimately within the party itself, creating, because if you say somebody, because you know he said something, one man no chop, and people have taken it out of context. Yeah, understand. But yes, true, one man no chop. You are either what's called in the government or you are in the party. But then what's the issue? So when the person in the party is the party is going to pay them, what kind of financial benefits will inure to somebody like my brother here, who's that I'm going to dedicate myself to building and working for the party. Understand? But then, so that for me, it brings in other issues. This is the right time for political parties to think beyond election, because our political parties, like their job is to do elections, and think about in which ways can we have economic activities that will create legitimate money, income for the parties. I don't know. So then what you have is
I'm following.
what you have is that when you sponsor the president comes to power, the president has to be giving the party handouts, otherwise the party can't survive. And we saw the repercussions of having an irresponsible president in power. When Nanado came to power, you understand? So he came on the back of the party, became president, and he used the power that the party helped him to get. Because remember, our constitution does not give executive power to the party. Our constitution gives the executive power to the president. We saw the president deliberately weaken the party so that he can take full control of the party. So he weakened the party so that so that the party will be at his beck and call. And right now we are seeing the consequences of that. So you see, so you need a party that is strong, that sometimes can stand against the government that they themselves have sponsored. But you can't do that if you have a situation where people can stand in government and still stand in the party. I don't know if...
No, I get your point. But don't you also think that, I mean, the assertion or the assumption really is that inherent in this particular decision is also the anger that has filled the bellies of some of these leaders, that the party leaders, that what they wanted they didn't get. And so therefore, I agree with your position entirely. There's no point of departure here. But I'm also looking at it from the perspective where there's this view that it is because those people who are now trying to bring out new guidelines did not get what they want from this administration. They then want to now, distance themselves from the operations of the government.
I don't know about that. Okay. I don't have any.
But you've heard that, right?
Kwame, let me correct this.
You've heard that, haven't you? No, have you heard that?
No, I have heard that. I mean, commentaries have run on it. Yeah. You see, Kwame, let me correct this perception that new guidelines has been brought out as though this is the first time that is happening. It is part of the responsibility of Congress to empower.
Before you answer this question, let me ask you. So when someone is holding a party position and the government is constituted and that person has been given a ministerial appointment, what then becomes of the position that the person holds in the party?
No, so we have 4 years mandate as executive.
What then becomes of the position? I need
the position is the person is still holding that position.
So the person holds dual responsibility. So why is the party not coming out with guidelines to say that immediately you are appointed, you no longer hold, or you should no longer hold yourself out as somebody who has a position in the party?
So you see, Kwame, this can only happen when you are going for Congress.
No, but it's not hypocrisy.
No, it's not hypocrisy.
Because you are trying to, Kwame is making a succinct argument, and you are nodding to it.
Yeah, that's right.
He sought to indicate that you are trying to dichotomize the operations of the party from that of government. Respectfully. And you were excited. You were nodding because Senior Appiah is saying that because the party, through the actions of the general secretary and the chairman, right, has acted in ways which has given confidence to him that it appears that we are trying to, decouple the party from government. It's the way to go. It helps in addressing the issues of clientelism and all of that. He eloquently, profoundly made that statement, and you agreed entirely with that.
I agree with
now,
that.
the flip side of the same argument is that if you indeed intended to do that, and your intentions are not born out of anger, you would have immediately Senior was not born out of anger. No, Senior, you're making me laugh. I'm sorry to do it. When you want power, right?
That's right.
People like Pablo, people like our very own Sami Jemfi, people like our very own Basintale, Osman Ayariga, and all the others who are officers of the party, and are still now CEOs.
Part of the executive.
Wouldn't you have now then said that because if you give you that opportunity to serve in government, you should relinquish that?
No. The only point you can say that the only point you can do that is when Congress has empowered you to do so.
So has Congress empowered you to say that?
Congress has empowered. See,
so why didn't Congress why didn't Congress empower itself?
When does they are part of Congress anyway? But when does Congress meet to take that decisions? It's when you are going for the next party reorganization. That's when you come out with the guidelines.
Okay.
And so these are new guidelines.
Okay.
This might not be the same even when we are in opposition.
Okay.
So guidelines vary based on the time that you are in power or in opposition.
Is it also a possibility? Is there a possibility that guidelines will also vary based on the emotions of people at some particular point in time?
Well,
because they hold that power to change the guidelines.
Because I don't know the emotion that you're talking about.
Actually, the question I want to ask.
I got the point.
I get the point. But
let's see that.
Let me make this point.
Okay.
I get the point, all right. But you see, Kwame.
Yes, sir.
Government, like you have said, clearly there's government and there's party.
Agreed.
Okay, party is a vehicle to get power.
Agreed.
For to get an executive power. Okay.
Agreed.
Now, the party must survive. The party must run.
Agreed.
Okay, and so you have to do division of labor. People must be at any point be doing something for party. And you agree with me that the work of party is 24 hours, 24/7.
Okay.
There's no break for party.
So right now, who is your communications director?
Sami Jemfi is our national communication director.
Who is your director of legal?
Director of legal is
Okay, so where is he now?
No, he's in government. So that's why we are not saying that.
I'm saying that
going forward.
No, I'm coming. You see, the point. I don't think. Well, I don't think we have an issue with the idea. Okay. I don't think we have an issue with how positive the idea is. In fact, we think that is an idea and an ideal that all political parties should
should emulate, yeah.
You understand? Now, but then the question is, how do you operationalize this?
Good.
So what Kwame is saying is very apt, because you know a situation where due to the whims, the whims, I say emotion. Due, I'm coming. You don't want a situation where due to the whims and caprice of party executives, who most of the time may even contest in that election, alter guidelines, or in the name of changing bring out guidelines, alter the qualification criteria just to disqualify, smartly on a mafia way, disqualify. And that's why I think that to better do it, then you ought to have amended your constitution. Because right, so this is just a guideline, so it's not cast in stone. Okay. It means that in the next election,
it varies, depending upon the situation of the time.
But you don't want that, because that's what I'm talking about. So as much as I love the idea, I love what you are doing, I love the fact that Fifi Kote's and the chairman and the secretary's leadership is creating, my view, a very strong party. But you must do it in the right way. You must not do it in a manner which is arbitrary or seems to be arbitrary. You must not do it in a manner which goes against the values expressed or clearly shown in the principle of the rule of law.
In which case, you are looking at the form.
What prevented them? I'm coming. So what was right now? What it means is that they've done these guidelines. In the next election, it may change. In the next guideline, in the next election, it may change. So clearly, then there's no certainty. Now, you understand? Why don't you, by way of a constitutional amendment, it's like sometimes critical as who qualifies to contest in a party executive election? Who qualifies? It must be certain. It must not something that must be left to guidelines.
I'll come to you. Let me go on Zoom and speak to Musa Dankwa. If he's on, so that we can get his final comment on tomorrow's delegates conference, that in my view is going to be fire for fire, boot for boot. Musa, are you on?
Yes, I'm on.
A very good evening to you, Musa.
Good evening, and thank you for having me.
MCR, check my sound for me. I can't hear Musa, but I can see that he's talking. So which means he can hear me. Musa,
can you hear me?
Hold on for me. I'm just getting them to. Yeah, fantastic. I can hear you. Musa, you are looking very young this evening. What's happening? What's your secret?
I sleep a lot.
Are you sure they are not sending Canada, Japan, and the rest after you?
No. As for me, they know that I'm straight, so they wouldn't do that.
Very well. Let's get straight into business. I've seen. In fact, I think the most topical issue in Ghana currently is your pool. I think over the last, maybe 24 hours, people have been really interested in your pools and whether or not, you have brought some finality to the doubts that people have relative to tomorrow's, MPP elections. Give me a general overview from your perspective. I'm going to allow you actually lecture us. I'm not going to ask you questions. You are going to get the opportunity to lecture us and arrive at your own conclusion, and then I'll let you go. So please, the floor is yours.
Right. Thank you very much for having me. I'm a pollster. I'm not a party researcher or researchers who ask long questions and try to find reasons and conclude based on their own assessment. Polling is numbers game. It's percentages, and that is it. Now, if you look at the way we did our work, we started with some questions that would enable us to go into the minds of the delegates beyond who would you vote for. So we start with asking them about their belief or disbelief that if you present a candidate for the second time in election for MPP, it will kneel to the party's advantage and win the election. To see whether that notion of second chance resonates with the people. That's the first thing we did. We also went ahead to ask them about the favorability rating of the candidate. How do they see candidate A? Do they see him favorably or unfavorably? We worked out the net effect of their rating to see who is more favored in terms of positive rather than who would you vote for. We went on another step to ask them about the qualities that are important for them when deciding who to vote for. And those were humble, a fighter, someone who can win the election, grassroots person, unity, unite the party, somebody who can fight, and other factors. Someone who can bring change, and somebody who is trustworthy. So these are the 8 qualities that we asked them to tell us which one is more important to them. Now, what you see is that about 23% of the respondents or the delegate were telling us that for them, someone who can win is the most important thing, followed by somebody who cares about the grassroots, 70%, and someone who can bring change, 16%, somebody who can unite the party, 16%, trustworthy, 11%, humble, 8%, other factors other than what we've given them, 7%, and a fighter, 2%. Now, how did they fare? When it comes to favorability rating, Bawumia topped them all, according to the poll. Bawumia has average of 93% among all the delegates that we sampled. Kennedy gets 85%, Brian 86%, Educhum 83%, and Ejepon 85%. I mean, Kobna Ejepon. Now, the trend we have seen over the last 4 weeks, which was very crucial for us, is who was where and where did they end up by the end of the poll. Bawumia was on 92.5%. He ended the period on 94.6. Ken was 85.3. He ended the period 85.4. Just a marginal increase for a period of 4 weeks. Brian, on the other hand, was 83.7, ended on 89.1, a quantum leap. And that is why you will see that in the headline poll, Bawumia gets 48%, Ken 25%, Brian 6%, Educhum 1%, and 21% said they will not disclose. However, when we came to the predictions of the model, we said that looking at all the information that we have found from this delegate, Bawumia is going to get 57% on the day. Ken will get 28%, but Brian is going to get 13%, double what the headline numbers was, which is 12%. Why? It's because it is him we saw increasing in favorability rating over the 4 weeks by a huge quantum. And he is draining Canadian Japan from what we have seen. Now, what else did we use to understand whether Bawumia is going to win? Look, in the regions, he wins every region apart from Volta region and Central region. That's what the polls are saying. Now, when you come to those who are looking for certain qualities from the candidate, for those who say humble, Bawumia is leading 67%, Kennedy 21%. And I don't think that one is disputable. Humble. Kennedy is doing woefully there, and Bawumia is doing extremely well. When it comes to those who are looking for a fighter, you will see that Bawumia is doing what? 25%, and Ken 62%. And I think these are two contrasting qualities that you all agree. Nobody will dispute that Bawumia is humble and Ken is fighter. And that has given a confirmation of that. It means that every other factor they are given is a fair assessment of what they believe of those candidates. When it comes to trustworthy, Bawumia 45, Ken 32. When it comes to can bring change, Bawumia 51, Ken 26. Grassroots care, Bawumia 42, Ken 30. Can win, Bawumia 47, Ken 24. Can unite the party, Bawumia 45, Ken 16. So they don't think if Ken wins, the party will be united. Other factors, Ken 45, Bawumia 45, Ken 11. So here too, you could see that on all the 8 qualities, Bawumia leads in 7 of them, and Kennedy leads in just 1. Very consistent with the outcome that we are seeing. Now, the question is, what about those who voted in the last election? How are they voting again? If you look at the data we have presented, we can see that 81% of Bawumia supporters last year are still voting for him, 81%. And for Kennedy, it's also 81%. So they are all at par on that level. But Bawumia has lost 9% of the people who went for him to Kennedy this time around. 9%. However, 11% have defected from Kennedy to Bawumia. So you have lost 9, gained 11. It means you have gained net of 2%. A challenger for an election should not be losing on this metric. You should be ahead. We should see more people moving from Bawumia to you. In this case, it is people leaving Kennedy to Bawumia. Bawumia has lost 6% of his vote to Brian, and Ken has lost 5% to Brian. Among those who say they will not disclose, 4% of them had in the past went for Bawumia, and 3% had in the past went for Kennedy. So you can see that on the balance of probability, there are more Bawumia people in the I will not disclose than Kennedy. Now, what about those who did not vote in the last election? For those who didn't vote in the last election, Bawumia is 48%, Ken 23%, almost similar to the main projection of 48-25. Nothing has changed. And among those people are 2% who are voting for Brian Achampon. But 27% said they will not disclose. Trust me, when they are disclosing, they will disclose in Bawumia's favor. So there are several indicators we've put out there, not just who are you voting for, to point to the fact that this race is not for Kennedy to win. Millions of reasons are there, and we've given them to you. Look, 9% of MPP delegates say they are likely to change their mind between when we ask them who they vote for and election day tomorrow. Only 9%. 71% of them have locked their vote, unlikely to change their mind, unlikely. But 20% are neutral. Now, this 20 plus 9, they are vulnerable to changing minds. And why would somebody change his mind as to his voting intention? When there is a scandal around a candidate, or when a candidate mess up in the last days of the campaign, that candidate will suffer. In the last week, the person we've seen to have messed up in the campaign by his speech was Kennedy. So if anything, those who may change their mind will not be changing from Bawumia to Kennedy, but they will be changing from Kennedy to Brian. And that has been the trajectory of this race with regards to how we've seen Brian performing.
This is very, 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 very educative, Musa. So tomorrow, if I'm to say that, Musa, I need your prediction, like Manchester City and Manchester United playing a fixture. Based on, beyond the fact that you've done your own pools and you've listened to the delegates, etc., given what you know, right, vis-a-vis the reality on the ground, who is winning tomorrow?
Look, let's take the data again. I mean, I speak with data. 48% headline poll for Bawumia, minus 25 headline poll for Kennedy. That is a gap of what, 23%, all right? Normally, if a pollster is unsure, he will be unsure when the margin of error that he has is close to the gap between the candidate who's leading and the candidate following, right? Here, the margin of error, which is 1.5%, the gap is 14.6% times the margin of error. It is very difficult. You see, when a pollster is worried, he looks at the difference between his gap and the margin of error. If the gap is 3%, my margin of error is 1.5. That will be shaking a bit. Hey, you can go this way or that way. Here, the gap is 23%, which is 14 times the size of the margin of error. Look, in statistics and human behavior, things don't flip like that. We are humans. Humans don't just turn these 360 degrees. No. When they want to turn, there will be evidence little by little, and you will see it ahead before it happens. This, trust me, nothing will change. I think the sound is gone.
I'm saying that I am going to do election bet tomorrow based on your prediction. So should I go with Bawumia tomorrow 100% and I'm not going to lose my money?
Go with Bawumia 100%.
Thank you very much, Musa Danko. I'll call you. I know you are going to be very, very busy tomorrow, but we'll find a way of getting to you tomorrow, sir.
God willing, inshallah.
Thank you very kindly. We've been speaking to Musa Dankwa, and I didn't want to, interrupt. I wanted him to educate us and take us to more like a lecture through the process, etc. And I think it's instructive that, whether you like it or not, Dr. Bawumia is winning. But also, I have my own reasons, right? And we're going to come to this particular conversation. But for now, we are still on the NDC because... that's what we do.
But when we close, when are we closing?
Oh, is it time? No,
yeah, it's 8 something.
Oh, no, it's 8:02. We have time.
When are we
close at 9? So we have time.
But we've done the NDC one for like 1 hour.
No, the NDC, this man was not here.
Yeah, but we've done for like 1 hour.
But you see,
yeah. But you wanted to make a point. You are even not down with your submission.
Yeah, but we've done it for like 1 hour.
No, so maybe you need to be power.
You give me a minute of his time.
I agree.
Okay. You give me a minute of time to make my point. What I want to say is that people should not see the press conference towards the guidelines as a doing of Fifi Abekote. He's the general secretary of the party. It is a decision by NEC and FEC. And so that decision is a collective decision by the party, including those who are executive but are holding positions today. That is it. It is not like Fifi Kote has personally done things on his own, or the national chairman has done things on his own. It is a collective decision of the party. But you see, Kwame, believe me or not, the party needs to extend its tentacles to every corner of this country, to the grassroots, to the constituencies, to the regions, and to the nation. So people must give the opportunity whilst others are serving in government, because the reset mode is on. And when you are giving an activity at an agency or a ministry, you are giving specific responsibilities. And so when you have divided mind, there's no way you can achieve this.
Okay. When you come back to this submission, respectfully, it still defeats the purpose of this guideline. Because you see, the reason I'm saying this, and it's appeared quite eloquently and profoundly, elucidated why there's some sublime hypocrisy. He didn't say that explicitly, but I'm just trying to glean from his submission that there's some hypocrisy. And also based on what General Amin himself has said, right? Because here is a party that is seeking to stop people from contesting in the party's election if those persons do not resign 6 months prior to that election, right? But then you still have the same party allowing people to sit on boards, allowing people to now serve as CEOs in some state-owned agencies, enterprises, and some state agencies, parastatal institutions, etc. Then the decision to now come out with the guidelines, in my respectful opinion, appears to be one that finds expression in the satisfaction of certain people within the party, and not for the benefit of the generality of the party people. That's really my concern. Because right now, as we speak, and Chamaklo is still the director of election, director of legal for the NDC. Rashid Tanko, until recently, was the director of IT in the party. Sami Jefi is still the communications director of the party. You have the deputy communications director being Basintale, Osman Ayaraga, deputy organizer, youth organizer, Elikem Kotoko, deputy organizer. They are still holding those positions in the party. So if you are seeking to now decouple the party's operations from government operations, then you have failed woefully.
Well, and that's to me, right? So let me come here. So I don't entirely agree with you because first things first, these individuals held the positions of the party before the party won power. So they, if you like, brought the party to power. Now, after the party gained power, the president decided to give them positions for them to serve in. At the point, of course, even on air, we were fidgeting with the idea as to whether they were going to resign. The party evaluated the situation and said they could hold both portfolios. But the party is now opening a new chapter. We're going into the next chapter of party leadership. And the party says, those of you who held positions and then the president added appointments to those positions. If you intend contesting for those positions again, then resign 6 months ahead of time. How is that different from what happens in, say, the MPP? Alan had to resign, right? Also free Akutu, the agriculture minister, had to resign. Many others had to resign because they wanted to contest for the flag bearership position of the NPP. Where I, however, have a problem is, yes, if you talk about appointment. So, for instance, Mustafa Gbande is an appointee, but I'm not sure he has a brick and mortar office where he goes every day because the point I'm making is that he's a coordinator, he's a deputy coordinator for security at the presidency.
That's right.
At the presidency, right? Does he have a budget that he controls? He doesn't. No. The point is, I report from Parliament. Exactly. He doesn't have a budget that he controls. He works under the Office of Government Machinery. There are some young people who have appointed as government spokespersons, right? Anthony Kwame Julius is one of them. Dr. Samia is one of them. Are you saying that by the virtue of that appointment, and I know that some of them are nurturing ambitions of contesting, they should, for the 6 months, go hungry, right? And then go and contest. These are the cons that you must look at. Any decision that you take will have its pros and cons. I have access to the NDC constitution, and if you look at the guidelines for qualification, something very instructive here, and General is here, he might want to help us, that for you to qualify to contest for a national position in NDC, you should have held, among many other things, you should have held an executive position within the party for a minimum of 4 years, or must have served in an NDC government. If we go by the true dictate of this particular provision, many people who wish to serve the party at the national level cannot qualify. Because it says you should have held an executive position within the party be branch constituency for 4 years.
Yeah, at least.
For 4 years at least. It means that the party doesn't want you to just jump from wherever you are and come to the national level. Yes, it might have its own advantages that you must know the ins and outs of the party, service to the party, contribution to the party. But is contribution all about holding positions? I beg to differ that contribution might be much more than just holding party positions. These are the things that NEC and FEC can look at. But when it comes to you resigning before you contest, it will not be the first, it will not be the beginning, and obviously not be the last. Okay. It is just to ensure that you don't mess up with the governance structure, because we are serious in this country. Mahama says he is leaving a legacy term. If you are moving from one constituency to the other, campaigning and asking for party people to vote for you, and you have a mandate to help the president execute, the president, in opinion, thinks that will be a distraction. Let one go. Let another person. In fact, the queue is very long in NDC. There are many people who are home. They've not been given the opportunity. So if for the 6 months that you want to go and serve the party at the national level, another person will get the opportunity to come and then serve government. Why not?
How about those who are serving on different boards? That's
the point I'm making. That see, anybody who says we are picking and choosing, the person will be well grounded in making the argument, because appointment is an appointment. See, I can tell you that some boards are more lucrative than the direct government appointment. I tell you that.
I don't doubt Musa Dankwa's polls, but the percentage given to Kennedy will be more than that. Suleimana sent in this one. This one says, good evening to you, Kwame. I am Abdul Hakim, and I'm doing the monitoring inside Kumbieli with the decision by our party NDC. I totally agree with it, because that gives us the opportunity for other party members to serve. Please ask Haj Amin whether he is willing to contest again. This one says, hello, good evening. Okay, right. So this one is not related to what we're discussing, but there's also another message. I believe I saw it on WhatsApp. Because of time, I'm just trying to skip through the messages. But good evening to you, Kwame, and your panel. Please, we, the grassroots, support the decision by NEC on the new guidelines. Please, we need committed people like General Amin, who has worked hard for the party over the years. We are waiting for his appointment so he can continue to support the grassroots supporters. General Amin says, you know, for the party, blah, 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 blah. People are saying, Masa, They need you to yeah. But clearly, I mean, you just wanted to make a quick point, then we go to MPP.
So I'm just what Ibrahim is saying is what I'm just adding on to.
Yeah.
That look, the NDC is a serious political party, and we don't want to suffer what MPP is suffering now, where an individual. I'm not saying that it's same in our party. You know, our mother party is a CPP, and why is CPP where it is today? It's because the party was built around individuals instead of a structure. And so even in government or out of government, the NDC as a political party will still have its structure strong and firm. And that's what I want to maintain. So I'm not sure FEC has done anything wrong for taking this decision. It's the best decision we have ever taken as a political party. Look, the fear is that we are losing quality in the next leadership. When Honorable Fifi Kote was a propaganda secretary of the NDC, and when Mills came to government, he was given an appointment. Many of us kicked against it because we thought we were losing a material at the party level. But what do we see? Sani Jemfi and Co came up because opportunity has been, another door has been opened. So opportunities has been given to people. The NDC has got so many experienced, very hardworking guys at varied levels. Go to the tail now, we have academics, people who want to give the opportunity to be part of the system. And so that is the best thing we have, the party have done. And look, the President Mahama is a serious person who wouldn't want his government to suffer. He's coming to set the country. And then, like I said, as an appointee of President John Dramani Mahama, you cannot sleep on your job. You can have divided mind. For instance, if you are planning to do an outreach, sometimes you spend 2 weeks, 3 weeks on the field. As an appointee, how do you function? Okay, so Kwame, kudos to the National Executive Committee of the NDC for taking this decision. Even though we know there are very experienced people who might not be in party within the next chapter that is going to be open. But trust me, the party will always reach out to some of them to their appointment positions.
Are you going to contest?
Yeah, so like I was telling you, I've spent about 20 years in Northern Region, from Deputy Propaganda Secretary, Communication Officer, Regional Vice Chairman. Kwame, I have stayed so long in the region. So consultation is ongoing. I might move to national.
You might move to national and to still serve the party.
But that's fantastic.
You have my full support.
Thank you.
Hey, is Edward Bauer in Ghana?
Oh, my brother is there. In fact, Edward Bauer is there.
Following the fuel war.
No, you know I'm into oil and gas.
Exactly. So then you follow the fuel war. He was fighting with the CEO for Star Oil.
I mean, I've
over
price floor.
Yes.
No, price floor for those are that.
No, Edward Bauer is doing very well.
So look at message sent.
Is he there?
No, Edward Bauer is there. In fact, he's working. In fact, he's doing very well. Edward is doing very well.
Standards, you.
No, by the standard that has been, by the measure that has been created in the past. You can measure to other. Yeah. He has gone to step into other shoes, and you can see that measurement. You see but let me say this. You know, Gwel is selling at 9.99.
No,
okay.
we are not here to
please. Let me say that thing.
No, we are not saying anything.
Maybe I'm just.
Please.
Am I opening the door for you?
No, Bauer is working. Bauer is working.
Bring the advert.
9.99.
Go ahead.
So, but elsewhere, I've gone to buy fuel from Gwel. And it is 13 point something.
From Gwel?
Yeah, from Gwel.
Gwel is 13.
Yes.
I'm saying the Gwel is selling at 9. It's 9.
Gwel is 9.
So most of the Gwel stations have not reset.
Exactly.
And so Edward Bauer should sit up and let his people, his regional people, in those to visit all their stations to check their meters. Yeah. Some of them are selling at 13 point something.
I hope he's open to consultancy like the way you have.
Edward is he's my brother, so I'm sure he's listening to me. Yeah. So
yo, say hello to him for me.
I'll say.
Senior Biggie. MPP. they are electing.
You say, what have we done? You are still with them.
So what have they done?
Okay, I say
what have we done with MPP. Hey, you want to commit suicide? The guy doesn't like you. You want to commit suicide? Yes, sir. They said they are electing a new flag bearer tomorrow.
You know, last week we were here and we were talking about the peace and IB were just a day after the so-called sum of the peace pact. Now they are telling us that one of the presidential candidates, Brian Champon, said he had to Mantam. You know Mantam? In Mantam.
Yeah.
You don't mantam human being.
What do you mean to the
No, mantam, you see, you don't mantam a human being.
Yeah.
In Tree language, when you go and say you mantam, you mantam an animal.
To a log or a tree. So you don't do that to
And I make a
Not a log. I will say log.
mantam.
When we say log, they say log. The log is there. You mantam a lion. You mantam a wolf. You mantam an animal. You don't mantam human being.
Yeah, that's the point I was making. That
Yeah,
you tie them to a tree
Exactly.
or a log.
As on leash.
Except my Tanya got my mantam and tree.
Yeah. So after the so-called peace pact, last week we were here. After the peace pact, just a day after. In fact, when we were having that discussion here, the mantamment was being said. That I said between number 1 and number 2, and the tension. So I have to mantam.
But that's figurative. He used that figurative.
Oh, what? Let's stop. You see, let's set this out there. Let's stop this figurative. He said he mantamed. You understand? And then it was a mantra. You understand? So tomorrow we are going to have the mantam contest. The contest is going to be a mantam contest tomorrow. Are we also going to have tomorrow? The contest can also be termed as a sinners contest. Who is the best sinner? Who is the biggest sinner? Have you seen such a contest before? 10 cents of Baumia, 10 cents of Brian Champon, 10 cents of. Also tomorrow, are we going to have a contest of the special children? And they said Baumia is a special child. Have you not heard that? They said Baumia is a special child. So it's going to be a contest of the special children, special child. They also say that in Japan, they've opened his head, so he has mental problems. They said that there's going to be a contest of the lunatics tomorrow. Is it going to be? And I'm not saying my word, I'm just quoting what they're saying. Yeah. Is it going to be a lunatic contest tomorrow? Is that what it's going to? Is it going to be a contest of the motherfucker? Motherfucker? Who is that? Is that going to be a contest of the motherfuckers? Motherfucker? Who is that? And they say that when you vote for Japan, you go to a UN. The next thing you hear is motherfucker. Motherfucker. I did not say that. Our learned senior Atachia says that if you vote for Japan, it's going to be you cannot. It's going to be motherfucker. Motherfucker tomorrow. So that's the contest we have to be discussing.
Because you look like in your phone.
So someone tell me. Someone tell you. Also, tomorrow's contest is going to be. Can I say that the contest is going to be a contest of liars? Liars.
He apologized for that.
Oh, listen. Listen, don't be doing this.
Animals are trapped by their host. Men are trapped by
Don't be. I beg you.
That thing you do, Edward Bauer thing you do, so stop that.
Apology, I have to beg you like 1 week, 2 weeks. They have to beg you for like 1 week, 2 weeks.
Even the apologies, there wasn't an apology.
You understand? So if there's one thing that is clear from the campaign that they've done, and if there's one thing that is clear, going to happen tomorrow, they're going to represent a candidate. They're going to vote for a candidate that represents their values. They're going to choose somebody that represents their principles. They're going to choose somebody that represents their spirit. That can say without any equivocation. Understand? That they are going to MPP as a political party now, as it stands today, do not have what it takes to choose a candidate who represents the interests of this country. Because the party themselves, I'm convinced, do not have the interest of the country at heart. And let me support this view. In 2008, if you recall, in 2008, when Alan Chamanten, what's it called, issue of resignation came up, and then the party met and said, I don't know something, we've settled the issue, so we should bring him back. One of the greatest men to have led the MPP, B.J. Darocha, wrote a letter and made a case for why Alan Chamanten should not be accepted back. Now, what was the government of that argument? He says that Alan Chamanten has proven in the course of his political life, in the course of his private life, that if he's asked to choose between Ghana and the NPP, he's going to choose Ghana, because of that they cannot have him in their party.
Yeah.
You understand? Now, if you have any doubt about what drives the NPP, beyond what we've seen,
It's the MPP.
what drives
MPP is what drives the MPP.
is the interest of the MPP that drives them. And so they are having this context, and in their mind, they are going to choose somebody who is just going to represent their interests. No wonder, under their watch. And that's what I'm so impressed with what's it called? Flavie Kote.
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want to say. I am the parent. You went and tell him that he has a huge fan here. Because we saw the president of Ghana look in the eyes of the people of Ekunfi and tell them
You didn't vote for
that
me.
in spite of the oath I took, the oath to dedicate myself to the well-being of every single Ghanaian, in spite of the oath I took to be faithful to Ghana, which it means that you're going to be faithful to the ideals of Ghana, you're going to be faithful to the values of Ghana, you're going to be faithful to the purpose for which we took upon ourselves this constitution. The president can look in the face of the people of Ekunfi and tell them, listen, you didn't vote for my MP. And because you didn't vote for my MP, I neglected my obligation towards you. The president said that. What did the party say? He went to Mepe. When they were down, you understand? Yeah. When they needed help, not only because you are president, but if you have normal human feelings, you understand? What did you tell them? I didn't need, I shouldn't have come here. Yeah. Because I know you don't vote for me. When he was campaigning in that week, you know the contest where they said they claimed that people were sharing weed.
Yeah.
You heard the president say that if they don't vote for the MPP's MP, he can promise that nobody can lobby him. Nobody can lobby him to fulfill his obligation towards the people of Edreso. And his boy, Asenso Boachi, repeated the same comment. You understand? So tomorrow, or in the light of all this, as in when they were doing their campaign, as in you saw what happened in Parliament. The politicians, you took an oath to be faithful to Ghana, and in Parliament, MPP members, MPP, they can fight among themselves. We saw it this week. After the peace pact, post the car, only because the car had, because everybody has the right to think. So tomorrow, we are going to have a very sad contest. We are going to have a contest that will pick a party, that will pick a candidate that reflects their spirit that I call familiar, very familiar spirit. Because Prof says, right now, we don't know that are they fake members or are they electoral members? Or are they familiar spirit possessed members? What you understand? So, listen, we are building a nation. We are building a nation. Fortunately, our constitution set an agenda for us. MPP have proven that they do not believe in that agenda. Have you ever seen, we saw tribalism in the last election from the MPP. Are you not surprised at the level of the tribalism as in crass tribalism being exhibited? You heard what the MP for Asante Achem South said. You see, personally, I don't know them, so I don't like or dislike any of them. I'm just criticizing how they handle their leadership and what I believe they stand for, what the party stands for. But I'm not supposed to anybody think that somebody in Ghana does not deserve to lead a country only by reason of where the person is from. Using words like I just almost swum and I just share, as we can't afford to have a country where we are divided by reason of the accident of your tribe. Because it's one of the fundamental agendas set in the constitution. And you have a major political party. You see, when the NDC matter came, the reason I was raised, and I've said it on your platform so many times, that beyond everything else, we want to sustain this constitutional democracy. It may be slow in giving us our economic agenda, and it may be slow, but that is the best system that can eventually lead us there. So first of all, so it's not about just starting, but you also need to find ways of sustaining it. So we spoke about things that would help it fall, and one of it was clientelism and patronage. But also one of the things that you cannot run away from, that for you to sustain democracy, then you need to create that right political culture that would tolerate diverse views and hold political leadership accountable. Now, who creates that? Yes, it's the duty of the state. It's the duty of the state institutions. But one of the critical bodies that creates that right political culture is the political parties. Because when you're a political party, what you have is the benefit of shaping public opinion. Well, how are MEP using this special power that they have? Did you not hear their minority chief whip stand and say that if an NPP member sees an NDC member and they are fighting, instead of going to separate and say, listen, you may be NPP, you may be NDC, but we are Ghanaians, we are brothers. Help the NPP member to beat up the NDC member. That's the spirit of the party. But I must say that he since apologized, and there was sincerity in that apology. You understand? But the party should have taken steps.
Yeah.
And no wonder they can wear masks. The MPs can wear masks and misbehave in parliament. You watch that
so shameful.
On a simple issue of we are tired, we are not tired, they can cause commotion and destroy the property of Ghana. Amongst them, they can meet in parliament and fight. So what are they going to do? They are going to choose a leader whose intention is not Ghana, who is going to follow BJ Daroche's letter, the content. You understand? Who thinks he's going to push just their party's agenda? As when Anado became president, he thought he was president of the NPP. You get a picture? Yeah, so tomorrow, Kwame, they are going to do what, and did you hear Nana B's interview?
Yeah.
About the national security issue. But are they going to have the election in Kazakhstan? Because they're going to hold the election, you are telling that you don't want national security there. Are they going to hold the election in Kazakhstan? You get a picture? You see, so let's do it the right way. Let's build systems, let's build institutions. Let's always have the agenda our constitution set for us in chapter 6 of our constitution. Let us do politics that will build a strong state, that will create a system where the well-being, the welfare of the citizens will be held. And you certainly don't do that in the kind of dirty campaign that has been done, leading to this election. This mantinism and sinners and autism and lunatics and motherfucker, and it does not help build a strong state. Yeah. So, Kwame, to end, to all the virtual members of the New Patriotic Party, they are virtual members. To all the virtual members of the New Patriotic Party, who certainly have been driven away from your home because of the familiar spirits, because of the motherfuckers. There is a home. Now there's no motherfucker there. There's a home, a UP home, a yellow home. A yellow home. You don't continue being virtual. Come. After tomorrow, come and let us restart the process again. You understand? Start the process, build a home where those ideals that made them start the first UP. Those ideals, you understand, can be practiced in all of our duty to help build a strong Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Apia Dankwa. This was good evening to you, POD. In fact, the social media cosmetic for Dr. Bawumia is not working. Honorable Kennedy upon all the way. And Danny in Nankpanduri, Northeast region, sent in this one.
Good evening to you, KOD. Seriously, you look stunning. You seem like someone whose wife is a press secretary to the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. As for you, whenever you host a program, I tell you, you make it more lively and interesting. You are too much. I would like you to hijack and host a larger and a larger program to revitalize it, because frankly speaking, it's not the same as it used to be. Boss, enjoy your night. William Kluche from Bupe sent in this one. It's true. One of the Gulf stations in the regional capital of Upper West region is selling 13 Ghana cedis, 89 pesos. So you are right, actually. You are very, very right. Interesting. Somebody has actually sent me a video. I don't know what you want me to do with a video. But IB.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Are you for Dr. Baumia? Are you for Ken? Are you for Brian? Are you for Kwabena? Are you for Osei Yao Edichum?
Well, if I'm for any of them, they won't be happy because I don't have a vote, right? So,
But you have a mouth to promote them.
Which will not convince anybody anyway.
How do you mean? You are a big man, oh.
See, the point I'm making is that the MPP delegates, they've made up their minds by now. They know who they are voting for, right? Yes, the party decided to go for early primaries just so it could have time to propagate its message before December 7, 2028. And that's if we are still voting on December 7, 2028. I say that because there is a proposal from the Constitutional Amendment Committee that the election date be moved forward to November. I disagree though. I think we should maintain December 7. Anyway, so I followed keenly. I've monitored the campaign. I'll be surprised if Kennedy Japan doesn't perform better than he did in 2023. I'll be surprised if he doesn't perform better than he did in 2023. So in 2023, he won the Central region marginally. He won the Volta region marginally. Greater Accra was actually neck to neck, to be honest with you. And to say that he was able to pull that off in 2023 when the party was in power, what is the contender, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, being a vice president, should tell you that yes. But that did not come as a surprise because Accra is the epicenter of everything. So every bad government policy, the rippling effect on people of Accra is magnified. So I was not surprised, for instance, that Kennedy Japan won Iowa West Wogon. That's one of the latest constituencies. So when you roll out a haircut and it affects the rich people in East Legon, the delegates will actually vote accordingly. So it didn't come as a surprise. The Legislative Crow and what have you, Kennedy Japan won. I also expect the contest in the Eastern region to be very keen because of Brian's presence. It changes the dynamics there, right? Brian should equally be able to do well in the Ashanti region because he has his leanings there as well. I still expect Dr. Bawumia to do well in the northern part of the country. No two ways about that. He do very well in the northern part of the country. All in all, we can only wish the MPP well. But I will say that if Ken should win, that will be a political miracle. I tell you this. A victory for Ken will be a political miracle. Yes, I tell you this. Yes, I tell you this.
This is true consultancy.
Exactly. Because, see, look at the power center of MPP and ask yourself a question. As a student of politics, has it shifted? So, the Osetie Mensa Bonsus, the Opare Answers, the Kojo Opon Krumers, the Samir Wukus, the...
They're right, they will all be out.
No, the point is, they are still congregating around one candidate. And so the power ground has not shifted. That's the point I'm making. Yeah, so you can talk about Lord Kwame, who has moved and pitched camp for Ken, Abino Seasare, Dr. Makesibe Yeboah. You get it? Yes, Sticker was there a long time ago. Kweku Kwaten, the former deputy finance minister.
What would you say in response to those who are saying that this is perhaps a new paradigm for the party, that they need somebody like Ken Ejapon to change the trajectory of the party? Because as has been described by senior Pierre Damkwa, that it's now filled with evil spirits, right? So you need Ken to exorcise that evil spirit from the party so that the party can actually now, begin to look within and reintroduce the ideals that gave birth to the party. Don't you think that they are at a point or at a juncture where they need to take the unpopular decision?
Well, here is something that many viewers might not be privy to. So, going to tomorrow's contest, former President Akufo-Addo says he's neutral. So he's not throwing his weight behind anybody, including Bawumia. So, per what we gather, the former president is not supporting Bawumia. That has led to his fanatics, quote unquote, pitching camp with other Brian, or some of them pitching camp with Kennedy Japan. To some within the MPP, that's good omen for Dr. Bawumia. And that if he emerges victorious tomorrow, he has a hold on the party based on his own strength, and not on anybody else's strength. As to whether that's what it will take for the party to win power tomorrow,
You don't know.
nobody knows.
Yeah.
When we talk about freshness, new face, right? There are many within the MPP who do not even see Ken as a fresh or new face, because they think that by the virtue of the fact that he served in the previous government, albeit on a board, and in parliament, he was part of that system. And lawyer Pedonko related to sins. When they are counting the sins, they have things to mention for each of them. And they were things done in government. So if those sins are to hold, you cannot say that you didn't play a part in that particular administration. So yes, there's also a school of thought that, see, the young people love Ken. The floating voters love Ken. So to some, a Ken flag bearership will give NDC a headache. And they make the argument forcefully. As to whether that argument will resonate with the delegate for them to make that decision, tomorrow will tell us. Then there is Brian Achampong. Brian Achampong, I believe, is not for today, but he's for tomorrow. And I'm sure he himself understands that he's putting up a showing. And from what I see, if Bawumia should win and Ken places second, Brian Achampong third, Dr. Yaduchum fourth, and then Community Judge Japan fifth. If you look at this order, and that's what happens tomorrow, then Brian Achampong will say that, okay, I have the opportunity to come again because I'm young, I'm resourceful. And if we are to go by the cycle of 8 years since 1992, right, then it means that whoever the MPP brings in 2028, the NDC will still maintain power. If we are to go by that, like I said, I'm not saying that's cast in iron, but if 2024 was anything to go by, where there was a crusade to break the 8, but nonetheless, what has existed since 1992, the convention still repeated itself, then we know that 2028 will be very difficult politically. But the other dynamic is that 2028, John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, will not be on the ballot paper. So the Bawumia supporters will argue that Bawumia has been on the ballot paper. So in terms of recognition, in terms of gravitas, in terms of visibility, Bawumia will be ahead of anybody that the NDC presents. And that's a political argument that you can advance. And they advance it forcefully. So the dynamics then will make you to own determination. But as far as our conventions are concerned, we know that it's not an individual who does the 8 years, because John Mahama lost 2016. It is the party that does the 8 years.
That's the vehicle.
Yes.
All right. General Amin.
So, well, we have all monitored the happenings for the last 3 months of their campaign.
Yeah.
And let's forget about the trading of insults among themselves and look at the issues as they are. From the word go, the MPP had goofed big time. I'm just imagining a circle that had elected Bawumia the last time as a candidate for the MPP. They are repeating the same executive from the branch to constituency to regional and national. And so, whoever is saying that he's not biased towards a candidate, it's not true. Because the party has leadership. The leader of the party is the national chairman of the NPP. The general secretary of the party is the administrative head of the party. So these decisions that they take at the party level are being orchestrated by the two people. Okay? And so I don't see how you build a house from the roof.
Like that.
You can't build a house from a roof. Because, however, I mean, whichever way you turn it, Bawumia has been given the advantage over his other contestants. Yeah. And so from the word go, it has been a total failure in this process. And that's the same they did in the past, even though the people, I mean, you remember this, the national chairman that was sacked from the party because he was not coming from Polafoko and the general secretary. They were not coming from the interests of Nana Akufo-Addo. You understand? And so they find a way of getting them out. This time, they won't even go to Congress to choose new executives who might not be their people, because going by the performance of Nana Akufo-Addo in government for the past 8 years, many of the party rank and file would not toe a line that he belongs to, because people were denied opportunities at the party level. And even what they promised this country, they could not deliver. So how then will they go by his interests? And so if this is going to be a goal, then it should go offside, right? So that is the strategy they have used. So one of the candidates is still being favored. And trust me, they will be paid back if Bawumia emerged as a candidate of the NPP. Because and NPP has not learned any lesson from their past misdeeds. What happened with the support of Nana Addo the last time to Bawumia, and the fallout from that support, they have not learned. And I pity that party. And that's why at any point in time, you should allow the NPP, the leadership of the NDC, for being bold to take certain decisions, even at this time. Okay? And if you don't build that vehicle, that will give you power. How did you get the power? But you see, what will change if Bawumia is the candidate of the NPP? That matters, because political parties are formed to win political power.
True.
And so if you elect a candidate, on the face of it, the main accusation of Bawumia was that his main strength was about the economy. He ended up deciding to run from that debate. So what new is it coming on board with? One. Two, there was this thing that he's yet to say that is not true, where every child who is not of 18 years believes that the most lying vice president we have ever had, the most lying presidential candidate we have ever had in this country, was Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Has that position been shifted? No. And then the failure. You can say Nana Addo failed, because it is a collective damage. Whatever decisions were taken at cabinet was what we saw out there. And Bawumia was a permanent member of cabinet. And so why will he want to come back as a leader of the NPP? But the polls that we have viewed, yes, I think that a lot has been done with the polls. And I know by sure, even if this election was taken even somewhere last week, Bawumia would have still emerged. Because that's a systems candidate. And so, if he's a system candidate, what prevents him from winning? Because others have, look, even after signing the pick pack, my brother said it, Apia said it. They were still bulldozing their way, trying to suffocate others not to breathe in the party. But tomorrow is a day. As we are speaking now, I have just had an information that the regional organizer of the NPP in Northern Region, the regional chairman of Northern Region, and some of the MPs are going around distributing goodies in the region. As at now, somebody have just sent me a message. And so, if the executive who are supposed to supervise the electing themselves are going around sharing goodies, what do we expect?
For transportation?
Well, it should be done at the Congress ground.
Oh, okay.
It should be done at the Congress ground, so that they will know that it's a party that is supporting its members, but not a set of them who have taken side in this contest. Because they were leading the contest in my region. The regional organizer, the MP for Tolong, the MP for Gushegu, Tampuliango. They were those leading the campaign. So, my brother, I don't know where we are coming from, and I don't know where we are going. Because it's the same thing, the same square peg that's going to be put in a round hole. The only time MPP will be viable is when this leadership is changed from the constituencies to the regions, to a larger extent at the national level. Because if the same executive that are occupying those positions, trust me, nothing will change in the MPP. So this democratic dispensation that we are all enjoying together, we must speak out. We must, name and shame people who are behaving the way they are behaving now in the MPP. But to my brother, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, you remember the advice that was given you by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama when he exited in 2016. He's being used. But that's one another want to prove wrong. And he's saying that he's not in support of him at all. That's what he's saying. That he doesn't support any of the candidates. But from where we sit and what we hear and what we see, Nanado is deep neck involved in who becomes the leader of the MPP or the presidential candidate of the MPP come 2028. So tomorrow, they have traded words. They have run down each other. I just hope that it is the responsibility of the president, it's the responsibility of the government to protect lives and property. So national security must be there. If not, my brother, what will happen tomorrow? We will not like it. And so if the leadership of the party, the general secretary of the party is saying that they are not going to allow any national security whatsoever there, they're going to have their own security system. No. Where you are using a public property, where you are doing an outdoor program, it is the responsibility of national security to protect lives and property. And that is what's going to happen tomorrow. So, Kwame, this democracy that we are practicing, from 92 up to now, we are still where we are. A lot has not changed in the MPP. What happened in Borga the last time, where the national regional chairman was attacked and killed, and many other people were asked from the party, is going to happen after these elections. I'm not predicting doom for the MPP. I'm not. But the happiness now shows that that's what we are going to witness. And so, Kwame, for the MPP, the least we talk about them, the better.
All right. So Prophet El Bernard on 27th of January 2026 says, I stake my 27 years of prophetic experience and 18 years of pastoring. Kenya Japan has won and is preparing to face the NDC.
The prophecies. It's very interesting issue you brought up. So at the last count, I think about 3 prophets for Bawumia, and then El Bernard. He has just not issued a prophecy. He's gone ahead to write a book about the prophecy, and he's engaged in media interviews on the back of it. So, see, I've never believed in divine revelation for an outcome of an election. But what happens is prediction. And Kwame, I'm sure you might have seen a flyer attributed to me before the 2024 election and afterwards. I said that if the MPP was going to lose, it was going to be monumental than we've ever recorded in our history. And that's exactly what happened. That doesn't make me a pastor. It's because I'm a student of politics and I followed what was happening, right? So if any man of God or woman of God comes and tells us that this person is winning, it's prediction, right?
Yeah.
If you swallow that hook, line, and sinker and decide not to work on the ground, you will lose, and you will lose miserably.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for El Bernard, he started his reputation for this particular
but
prophecy.
I think that people have started.
See. You see?
And the gentleman who said he was going to relocate to, was it Togo?
There was a guy who said he should burn him alive. Those are political activists. They can say that. In fact, this man is very respected.
The El Bernard?
Yes, he's very respected.
But did he really say this?
Yeah, he said it. He said it. He predicted. Yes, he said it.
He's what?
So in Kumasi, say he's Tatashi.
Yes.
So if it doesn't happen,
I have an issue. So is there God? He's only interested
in Ghana politics.
And then we must start questioning, because we have one God. And maybe I don't know. So God tells my brother here that Bawumia, God tells one is just, it's not just a prophecy.
It's blasphemous.
Also even our posters. Even our posters. You see,
it must be balanced.
Musa Langwa.
Oh, not if it's Musa, as I'm attacking him. I'm not attacking him. Oh, he's a nice guy. They do.
No, I thought you were going to mention him. That's
I'm going to mention. Because even in the last election, he didn't succeed. He said Mama was going to get 50.3%, plus 3, minus 3.
Yeah.
So the prediction was that he was going to win. So he was going to. What you are doing, push.
He's going to win by
What you are doing, push data.
Yeah.
So you're asking people questions, and you come and say, listen, he's going to get 50.3%, plus 3, minus 3.
Yeah.
And since he got 57%, what found? What found? No, let's as they are.
But still, the victory was where he pointed.
No. You see, because
nobody could predict the victory.
Did I not say? Also in time on your show, the end is was going to win emphatically.
You told me. You said
You say I'm doing push plus 3, minus 3. You got 50. You said 50.3, and then when the results came, it was 57. Is it plus 3? All you do plus 3 is 53.3. You see, so they do all these things. It's a Jumasheshe. You understand? It's a Jumasheshe. And they do it to Jumasheshe because what they do is that it impacts. The effects are really serious. Because people, they are also investors. They are political investors. They want to know where to
send their resources to.
So when a pollster who seemingly has some credibility comes and says that, listen, as soon as he's going to get 50, he's going to win. It directs one where the investors will go. And there are people in Ghana, people in Ghana here who don't want to vote for a losing candidate. You understand? So they impact public opinion, they impact investors. You understand? But so let's say it because the essence of the pool was not that he will win or he will not win.
So you wanted accuracy, so we should get it like
no. That's why we have plus 3, minus 3. So when you do pools, we are not asking that to be dead. We are not saying that. We have given you plus 3 allowance. We don't talk about the plus 3. We've given you minus 3 allowance. We don't talk so minus 3. But when you go plus 7. Plus 7, I want to say that.
But 2024 defied every.
It didn't defy. No.
Including Parliament. See,
listen, but the closest was Musa Dankwa. The closest was Musa Dankwa.
Yes. Probably I didn't speak with you.
No, but Parliament.
You see, but it was so clear. I kept on saying that it's going to be a landslide. The people didn't see it.
I get that.
The figures, the science.
Even he envisaged that MPP was going to get less than 90.
Listen, I can tell that I was surprised at the performance of MPP.
In Parliament,
I think you mentioned 60 or something.
I said, and even in the press, I said, I'll be surprised if I'm not gets 30%.
30%, you said it.
I'm telling you.
Okay, but he go more than that.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That surprises you.
That's what I'm saying. That I was surprised by how well. Why not in the country? You see, when they're from where I'm from.
You said you are a student of politics.
You see,
also
also where I'm from, Kumasi.
Yeah, if you end the
I'm coming. And you go on air and you talk against MPP, you are treated like a pariah. I was here and I was criticizing MPP vehemently. And you go to Kumasi and then your Kumasi people meet you.
They are hailing
say,
you.
and offer say, Chiam, why you are there? Consistently. Then you knew that talent is going to be, I'm telling you, I knew that it was going to be a disaster. I was surprised when I had. So when they said, wait, is it
38.3
or 41, whatever it is?
30.3.
I was surprised. And so when Musa Dankwa said, Mama was going to get 50%, I said, is this yours? Is it more? I will more. In the 57 even, I thought that the 57 was
small. It was 60.
Because the level of disaffection. So you're telling me that after all we went through,
that has translated
41%.
That has translated into the kind of love Mama has now.
Yes, you see,
and it's dangerous. That love is very dangerous. It's dangerous in the heart. You don't get it if he doesn't use it well.
No, but he's using it very well.
Of an irresponsible.
Yeah.
Somebody which at that time was also
was popular. 2016.
Yeah, and what did he was doing? The
first term of wasn't that bad.
That's the cease for what happened in the second term happened.
Good evening.
You see, you came to meet Energy Sector Levy Act, ESLA. You came to meet it.
Yeah.
Wasn't the first time that he destroyed everything? He went to what's called it was the first time. Wasn't the first time that they did the Energy Sector Recovery Program
wrote beautiful, and then what did they do with it? One of the first time that they decided to spend 5 billion on NAPCO and just 100 million. It was the first time.
Yeah.
So instead of, in fact, in spite of, because we were in IMF, the IMF asked us to. IMF was the first time. So that argument, and the first time was okay. Okay.
I love when they
the first time of
figures around 100,000, 1 million this, 1 million.
The road sector.
I'm saying it was the first time that the cease of that radical
Let me tell you something.
happened.
You know what happened that they refused to take tolls. Road tolls. When they saw the money.
Hold on. This thing about free SHS, you see, yes, but you are creating a impression as if it's something new.
But at least he brought.
No, you see, when they introduced free SHS, I went on my Facebook page, and I congratulated them. But there was a caveat, of course. I said one of the fundamental issues I have with governments, not just that the Kufuor government, and policies, is that they implement the policy without looking at how to sustain the policy. Did you see the issues you had?
Did you say a policy paper on fair SHS?
Exactly.
What blueprint is it? Did you see? Did you see a policy? No, did you see a policy?
For free senior high school. Free education. From the primary school. From the primary school to the secondary school, I never paid school fees.
Yes.
Okay, even when I was when I was at the tertiary, I never paid anything.
Do you know that when we talk about free SHS, it was just a financial issue. They extended it to other things and they started education.
They destroyed it. They messed up our education system.
My brother Solo says,
look at what this government is doing. They are building facilities everywhere. Even today. The educational minister has breakdown for so many educational infrastructures.
They were converting KVIPs into dormitories.
Yeah, issues.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, no,
Massa.
See, the policy had challenges. But has it come to
No,
if he decides not to continue, he's dead. Listen.
No, but look at the change.
Did you see a policy? Did you see a policy?
Good evening. My name is Roger from guys. Good evening. My name is Roger from Akuapem Mampo. My concern is about the interest rate, which is now 15%.
That's the policy rate.
That's the policy rate.
Okay.
So it must drive down interest rate.
The interest rate. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. But the guy is saying that interest rate is still.
Okay. So the policy rate is 15%.
15%.
I'm sure the argument is that the interest rate must come down.
But it has not come down.
Yeah.
So the guy is saying that the banks are still using 36%.
Yeah.
So he wants us to discuss the issue, but unfortunately we are out of time. I'm sorry. Next time, if it's still persists, I'll discuss it. Good evening, KOD Esq. I think the new guidelines for NDC as announced by the General Secretary should be tied to presidential candidates only from Kwesi Tapa. So you are expecting for instance, Professor Nana Jane intends to contest, you expect her to step down as vice president.
Oh no, but didn't step down, so wow.
No, but this is what the guy is saying. Now we should expect to.
Oh no, I think if you hold them in.
That's what they are saying.
No, what he's saying.
Okay, ministerial. All right, okay,
what does this in?
I get a point. All right, I wanted to activate the phone lines, but we're out of time. I want to say a big thank you to you. Why did you come in late? You are never late.
I had a similar thing to do on my network.
That's fine.
So that's
fine. Also,
because of tomorrow,
Yeah, I'm tired.
Thank you. General, thank you. And thank you to the viewers for your time this evening. I'll see you guys next week. But tomorrow, I grow from the butu. Next week will be here at 5.